Hello, Namaste, Assalamu alaikum, Sat Sri Akal, and welcome to your adventures with Excel, with Simply Excel. And what we are looking at in this video is we are going to talk about two very useful tools which we use for summarizing the data, gaining some knowledge out of the data, making sense out of that data what we have. So we are going to talk about two tools. One is the subtotals and the grouping tool, and the other one is what we are going to look at is the pivot table. So let's start our journey and start looking at the process. So here we have a raw data which is related to some sales information. Some sales data is there with almost 51,000 rows. 51,000 rows, and some columns where we have all this information, where we have the date, order date, the shipping date, aging, ship mode, sales, profit, all those things along with country and region. As of now, this is raw data, it is only information, but how can we use this? How can we make sense out of this information and use it for our knowledge is using two tools what we are going to look at today. So we'll start with the first tool, a very useful tool which is there in Excel. And here what we want is, we are developing a scenario. Here I'm creating a scenario where what we want to do is we want to find out, let's say for example, the total sales which has happened for a particular product category and for a product under that category. Or let's do it first only with the product category. We want to see the sales as per a product category. If we look at this data now, our data is not in a particular sequence. If we observe, you have auto accessories, then you have electronics, then again auto. So the data is not arranged. Now first thing what we need to do here is we need to make sure that our data is arranged, as we call it, as the data is sorted in a proper order. We all are aware of data sorting. We all know how do we do sorting. We all go to our data tab, or in the home tab itself we have sort and filter. Now here what we have is, if you use sort A to Z or sort Z to A, Excel by default sorts based on the first column which is there. One key thing which I would like to mention here is, whenever you are sorting your data, ensure all your columns are selected. You don't leave any column unselected. Rows, it's okay, you can just select specific number of rows, that's okay, but it is always better to select all. It is always advisable that you select all the columns. Now here when we do sort A to Z or sort Z to A, as a standard default, Excel sorts the data as per the first column. But here we don't want to arrange our data, we don't want to put our data as per the order IDs. We want to put the data as per the product category. So what we do is, we can go to either the data tab and use the sort option there, where we have an option for sort customize, or you can go to home tab, sort and filter, and we have custom sort here. In custom sort, you make sure that my data has header is selected, so that the first row is considered as your header row. And when you are selecting the data, make sure you highlight that header row, that is which has your titles. So what we do next is, my data has header is selected, and we click on sort by, and we choose the column on which we want to sort the data. We want to arrange the data based on product category. We can sort by values, and we can sort either A to Z or Z to A. We'll do it, let's say A to Z itself. So we have all the data, the complete data has been arranged as per the product categories. So where all auto accessories are together, and then you have electronics, then fashion, and so on. Now what we need to do next step is, we need totals as per the product category. So what do? We keep the data selected, complete data selected, all the columns and all the rows, and we go to the data tab, and in data tab we have an option of subtotal. So we click on subtotal under the outline in data tab. In the outline panel you have something called as subtotal. Now in subtotal, the first parameter or the first option what you have to select here is at each change in. Now here we want the total after the product category changes, like after the product category from auto accessories moves to electronics. So we want the moment auto accessories is completed, I want the total to be there for auto accessories. So what we will do, we'll go to data again, subtotal, and we'll say at each change in product category. We want to do the total, so we will use the sum function, and we want the total of the sales column. So at subtotals to, we will say we will select the sales column and we click on OK. The data has been done. But where are the totals? Because the data is too huge, you would not be able to see them here, but I will try to just show you. If you scroll down, the moment auto accessories finishes, yes, the moment my auto accessories will get over, I'm doing the wrong way, but I just will come back to the right one. So the moment you keep on scrolling down, and we will reach the end of auto accessories, and you see there is a row which has been added here. So what we do here is, one option is you keep on scrolling, other option is on the left hand side of my window, and when you will do it, you will see 3 buttons, 1, 2 and 3. 3 is the complete data. That is, you see the details, everything, all the rows. If you click on 2, that is the level what we have created, where we have done the grouping as per auto accessory, or sorry, the product category. So you will see auto accessories, electronic tools, the totals of each one of them. If you click on 1, you will only see the grand total. Now the next thing what I want to do is, let's go back to the data, and I want to remove these subtotals for the reason, one reason is I want to do something else also, but the other main reason is I want to add new data. Maybe the new data is there and I want to add new data. I have selected all the data. Make sure the grand total row is also selected. You click on data tab, subtotal, and remove all. So your subtotals have gone. Now the next scenario is what we are looking at is we want product category wise, product wise sales total. What is the total sales? So again, the challenge is we will have to again highlight the whole data. We'll go to data custom sort. We have already sorted the data as per product category, and now we will add another level. Let's say add level, and this time we want to add the product. This way you can add up to 255 levels. But as a matter of fact, with whatever 26 years of experience with working with data programming, is beyond third and the fourth column of data levels, sorting levels, you might not see the effect on maybe the third or the fourth column. Beyond the fourth column, you might not see that there is an effect on the fourth column, because it goes as per the priority. First will be product category, then it will be product. Then you keep on adding levels. So the priority is within product category there will be product, within product there would be another level, whatever you add. So you keep on adding levels, and up to 255 columns you can add in this level. Now we click on OK. So the data now what it has got arranged is, you have the product category, auto and accessories, and you have the product type or the product, that is bike tires. We want to get the subtotals as per the product category as per the product category, as per the product. So that is, within the product category we want the product totals as well for the sales. We keep the data highlighted, make sure that the complete data is selected. You go to your data tab, go to subtotals, and we do the process the same way. We say at each change in product, sales is the function is sum, and add subtotals to sales, and we click on OK. So we get the first level, that is based on the product category. We want to add another level based on the product. So we keep the data selected as it is, go to the data tab, go to subtotals. This time we will choose at each change in product. We'll keep the function same, we'll do the subtotals for the sales, but this time make sure that you remove this replace current subtotal check mark from the checkbox. That should not be selected. Otherwise, what will happen is you will not have product category wise total, you will have only product total. And we click on OK. This would take the thing. Now, how many levels do we have? We have 1, 2 and 3 levels, 4 levels. So fourth level is a complete detail, the full data. Level 3 will show you product wise totals and the product category wise totals. So it will show you auto accessories, what is the total, products, what is the total, then you will have electronic total, then you will have, now if you would have reversed it, that is if you would have done product wise product category, so we'll have to first sort the data as per the product, then as per the product category, and similarly we will also have to do the subtotal first for the product and then for the product category. So anyway it is possible. So you'll have electronic total, we have the fashion total, the products under the fashion, and we get the grand total. You click on level number 2, you will have only the product category totals, and you click on number 1, you will have only the grand total. We can select all of this, highlight the data. Here we have got this information, that is we have now got some knowledge about this data. We have product wise product category totals, so we have product category total, and we have the product total. We have, if we want, we can only see the category total. If we want, we can see the product total. If we want to see all the data, we have complete data. The challenge here is, now if you have new records which you want to add or which you want to populate this data with, is we will have to remove these subtotals, or we will have to add the data maybe somewhere towards the end after this row where we have the grand total. And that is, as a human tendency, we keep on entering data the way it is. The last row what we have, these two rows will become immaterial for us. We will not have this data as of now, will not make any sense to us. So what we will have to do is we will highlight all the records, Control Shift down arrow till the time we get the grand total. We go to the data tab, subtotal, remove all, so that we don't have any data. What we can do now is new records we can add manually, or if we are copying and pasting, we can just go to the last row and start doing it. But then the challenge here is a useful tool, but the only challenge is again and again you want this report, you want to have the information again and again, you have to resort the data, rearrange the data, redo the subtotals. But the answer to all this is the good old friend of ours, that is the pivot tables. Pivot table is a tool which is there in Excel for us to summarize the data the way we want on the fly. You want to change the structure, in the sense you want to change the layout, in which layout, the way the data is structured. You want to see the totals, you want to see averages, whatever. You can change all that on the fly without touching the original data what you have, without touching the original data where you master data, or you can say your working data where your information is all stored. A good method or an ideal method if you want to keep your pivot tables dynamic is, what you should do is select the existing rows, plus maybe you can select some additional rows which can be blank rows, so that in future whenever you have new data, or you can keep it dynamic also, we can always keep on changing the reference. I will show you that how do we change it. So we'll select only the existing data as of now. We go to the insert tab, we go to pivot tables, select the table or a range that is already selected. Now currently it is all fixed. We will see how we can change this after the pivot table has been created also. Always use a new worksheet to create a pivot table, because your data might be too huge in the working sheet, so it's not advisable to keep it in the same sheet. You create a new worksheet and okay. Now this is the layout, the structure, or you can say the view is a little bit different in Office 365, but Excel 365, Office 365, but the concept is the same. It only looks different. What we want is, we have 4 panels here: filters, columns, rows, values. This is the play area where we play and manipulate our pivot table. We just have to work in this area. Everything else gets sorted in your data here. So first we decide how do we, what do we want? We want product wise information, product wise category wise product information, sorry. So let's say we want product category, so we just simply click on product category, and product category comes as rows, and then I click on product comes under the product category. Now we'll go into manipulating this a little bit. What we want next thing is, we want the total of sales. So we click on sales. Because it's a number column, it has automatically come in the value, so it will summarize your data as per the product category, under the product category, by the product, what is your total sale and what is the total sale of each of these categories. Like auto accessories, what is the total sale, and under this, what is the total sale of each of these products. Now it is up to us. We can change the layout we want. We don't want to see the structure like this, because comparison is becoming a little bit difficult maybe. So what we can do is, we can drag the product, just simply click on the product, drag it and put it in the columns area. Now you have auto accessories. Auto accessories, what are the products and what are their sales. You can bring back product here and you can put product category in the columns area. So you have auto accessories, what are the products, electronics, what are the product sales, home and furnishing, what are the products, what are their sales, and the grand total of all this which is there, that is Apple laptop, bed sheets. So product wise, only thing is, recommended thing is, like sometimes you are confused what to put in the columns, what to put in the rows. My recommendation would be that values which are where the variation is not too much, or you do not have too many variations. Like for example, in this case we have only 4 product categories or 4 product categories: auto accessories, electronic, fashion, home and furniture. So those you can keep in the columns, and products you can keep in the rows, because the variation is too much. You can do the reverse, because here we are not able to get a proper picture. You can do the reverse also, that's not a problem. The only thing, you can do the reverse way as well, where you can put the product categories as rows and products as the column. I might not want to see all the products or all the product categories. I'll just bring them back to the same one. I just want to see a particular product category, what is the total. So I can just simply click on the pivot table area, which is here where the data is being displayed or the summary is being displayed. We can click on column labels, and I say no, I only want to see auto accessories. So it will only show you information related to auto accessories. You say I want to see maybe fashion, click on OK. So you filter it based on fashion. So we are not touching our master or working data where we work on a regular basis. We are simply playing around in this structure. You might want to, most of the times we don't want to see information as numbers. We prefer to see information as percentages of, let's say, casual shoes is what percentage of the total of these products. So what we do is, we come into the pivot table field area on the right hand panel. In the values where we have done sum of sales, we'll click on the drop down here, open the dialog box called value field settings, and there is a tab called show value as. Currently it says no calculation, but we want percentage, so we can say percentage of grand total or percentage of column total, because if we do percentage of grand total, it will consider the percentage of grand total here, because there is only one product here, so it doesn't make a difference. So we will say percentage of column total, click on OK. So what you get is, you get casual shoes was 6.5% of your total sales of this particular product. Let's say we just add another column. I want to see electronics as well. So electronics as well, it starts showing you Apple laptop was 14% of the sales. Fashion is 0 in this case, casual. So if you just change this and change the layout, you get this. So you can change the layout wherever you want. Now what is this filter column or the filter panel here in this is, you can say that I want to do filters based on my own choice. Like we want to do filters based on region. So we can put filter here. So you will see a separate row getting added here where you see region. Currently it is showing all regions. We say no, I want to see only a specific region. Let's say Canada. So you will see this data is only for Canada. You don't want to see them as percentages, you want absolute values. So we again come back to this playground, sum of sales, value field settings, show value as, and we say no calculation. So it will start showing you the values here, absolute values, absolute numbers. Another interesting thing with pivot tables is, let's say you have got this and you want to see, okay, for example, tablet is very less, and I will do one more thing. I will select, we have selected Canada, or we'll select all. We see that there might be some value which is the lowest value. Now how do we get the minimum value? Is, I can just observe it. I say here, okay, keyboard is the lowest value. So but still, where did we get all this value from? So we can just simply, we don't have to go to the master data again. We can just simply double click on the grand total and you will get the details of that in that particular product category, all the details, order ID, order date, everything. So in a way it has extracted the data from your sales sheet, that was your master sheet, and from the pivot we just double clicked on it and created a separate sheet. So it has extracted it from there and brought it to your new sheet, and now we can do whatever we want to do with this particular data. We want to send to someone, we want to copy it, paste it, send it to someone, create a new sheet, put it in a new file and share it with people. Let's come back to the pivot table. Now here again, we can sort the data in the pivot table. And before we do the sorting, another thing is you can also, now we were talking about how do we make it dynamic. Currently your pivot table is only limited to 51,000, approximately 51,000 rows which were already selected. But tomorrow you might have more data which has come up in this. So how do you change that? Is what we do is we go to click on the pivot table data, go to the pivot table tools, a new tab which has got created. Under that there are two more tabs, analyze and design. So we click on analyze and change data source, click on change data source, and here you can just simply change the row number. You can just simply change the row number to maybe let's 60,000 for example. This is first thing. So your data is now up to 60,000. What we further do is, if the data has been changed, you click on the pivot table, go to analyze, refresh all, and it will refresh your data. It will refresh your pivot table with the fresh data. Sorry for this. So your data will get refreshed, and I will do one thing. I will also select all here and click on OK. So you will have blanks also, and if you have gone through my video on preparing data, we had seen how to fill up those blanks and what is the effect. Now see, if you have blank, there is a separate row which has got created for the blank data. So in case we have a blank value in any of the cells, in any of the columns, in any of the cells, and there are values in other columns of that particular cell, then what will happen? You will see the values under this, but then here you will see the blank. So that goes under the category of blank. You don't want to see the blank rows because as of now we don't have any data. So we'll click on the column labels, change that blank, remove that blank, and click on OK. So now you will not see the blank. So it is like a filter. This is a filter you use. This is a filter which affects the whole table or a whole pivot table what you have. I can remove blanks from here as well. So this is how we create a pivot table, the most useful tool in Excel for summarizing your data without affecting your working data. You don't need to again and again sort, unsort subtotals, remove the subtotals to get the new data. You can always just keep this sheet ready, a pivot table sheet ready, and you can manipulate this outlook. You can say, okay, I want region wise and I want region wise product categories total, and I will say I want and I will just select region here. All the regions are selected. And I have not selected anything in the column, so I select regions here. See, my regions are too many and my product categories are only 4, so I have kept my product categories as columns and regions as rows. And because I have added regions in my rows, now I cannot see them in the filter because there will be a filter which will automatically get added here. So I can always select the row labels here and select whichever row I want. I don't want blanks, or let's say if I want only comparison between, let's say, Africa, Caribbean, Central, I don't want all these other regions as of now to be compared. So you will have comparison data here with the regions. Within this you want to see which is the maximum. So what we can do is, another very interesting tool is we highlight this pivot table. Now if I ask you how do you highlight the maximum rows or the maximum values here, or the highest top 5 values here. Now one thing is, you will say, okay, we will have to sort. So how do we sort? So we can just sort the data. You can just select, like for example, I will select column labels here, more sort options, Z to A, and OK. So it is already Z to A. I can select more sort options, descending order of product category. So this will get changed there. What we can do further is one more thing which I would like to put across here. I will put another column here. I will remove, let's say I will remove the product code. I want region wise, I want the data which is, let's say I want the sales as per, or yearly sales, or monthly sales, or quarterly sales. Now where is that data coming from? That data is in order date. So I put columns here. When we put regions and we put dates here, it's coming as dates. We don't want date wise information. We want maybe month wise information or quarter wise information which is there summarized. So what we can do is very easy. Provided your order date is in date format in your master data, in your sales sheet, it is in date format, in a proper correct date format. So what this will automatically allow you to format your data or reduce your data size. So what we can do, or group the data. So what we can do here is, we'll click on the Analyze tab here in the pivot table area. In the Analyze tab, there is a grouping option. So we say group field, where you see that there is something called there is a calendar kind of an icon here. So you click on group field. You say I want to group based on quarters. We want to get the quarter wise information. So click on OK. So you get quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. You say no, I want within the quarter, I want the months as well. So within the quarter, Jan, Feb, March, April, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, and the grand total which is there. You say no, I want, let's say, only year total, year and quarter. So currently I have only data for 2022, but if you have multiple year data, so you can have a comparison, year on year comparison as well. So you will have year under the year. Only requirement for this is the column which we are using for the date should be in a proper date format, and your value should be in proper date format in that. So I hope this was quite useful. So what we have talked about is, we have moved from, we have seen how we can summarize the data within the master data or within the working data what we have. We have seen what are the concerns, or what are the concerns we can face here, where we'll have to again and again remove the sorting, remove the groupings, add the new data, again do the sorting, again do the grouping. We have seen another thing, that is the most useful tool, the most useful friend. A friend in need is a friend indeed. That is our pivot tables. And we have seen what all things can be done within the pivot tables. So hope this video was useful and informative. Please like the video, put your comments if you have anything. I will put the link for this sample file in the details. Please go through the link if you want to use the sample file for your practice purposes. Share the video, like the video, subscribe for the channel, and look forward for lot of other informative videos on Excel. Have a nice time and thank you.